the regulation requires data to be kept secure and data breaches to be reported. So what should businesses be doing about this?
Yeah, obviously the security is one of the key principles of data protection that must be met. And in GDPR, they have, they've gone a little bit further than the Data Protection Act, and they've actually explicitly mentioned some measures that you might take in terms of encryption and things like that. And obviously, it's recognised that businesses are much more of a target than they used to be. We're talking about malicious websites and phishing and hacking through vulnerabilities in people's IT processes. So there's a lot to think about. Again, it's to reflect the change in technology. In fact, the government, the government have actually produced a paper, Cyber Security Regulations and Incentives, in December 2016, and that paper makes it clear that data protection and cyber security are absolutely interlinked, and they do go together. We should remember that. So it's to provide ongoing confidence that people's data is well managed. But it goes further now. It mentions things like the reliability of the data and its availability as well. So, for example, if you're liaising with a business who's holding your data, you expect them to that data not to be vulnerable to incidents. So, for example, crashes and things like that, which can happen from time to time. And so what we're talking about there is business continuity. It's part and parcel of the data security that it's reliable as well. So it's availability, reliability, and restorability in the event of a security incident. So that's very important. So it's interesting really, because that does bring in business continuity testing, whole business continuity plans. And if businesses haven't got those in place, that's something else they must think about when they're talking about GDPR. They also talk about processes of regular testing of these as well. So, it's an ongoing process. It's not just, right, we've implemented X, Y, Z. Things are changing all the time. You must have a system of maintaining that and ensuring that you're testing that. And another thing, to do this, what you've got to remember is we'll come on to breaches in a moment and notification of breaches, but if there is a breach in your management of data, the Information Security Office will of course look at what measures you've taken, it is hindsight, isn't it? Sometimes you look back, well, what happened? So they'll look back at what happened, and if you haven't demonstrated that you've got your data security measures in place, that may mean that the fine is higher than it would otherwise have been. There's other measures, though, in conjunction with GDPR, some initiatives by the government which can help.
Okay.
I'm talking about one of them is this Cyber Essentials scheme. Basically, that's a scheme designed for small to medium-sized enterprises primarily, but it's a scheme that you could sign up for, and it's designed to make sure that all businesses, have got appropriate basic hygiene in terms of their data management and security. So it goes from things like passwords and infrastructure to recoverability to antivirus software, and there's a whole host of questions that you can answer and get accreditation and sign up to the Cyber Essentials scheme. There are two levels actually. So Cyber Essentials, essentially you would go to a third-party accreditation centre, complete a questionnaire, and you may get accredited if you meet all the requirements. There's the next level up would be Cyber Essentials Plus. Under those circumstances, an independent body would actually carry out tests. So that goes a little bit further and gives a little bit more confidence to your users that you're meeting the basic IT hygiene. If you do get a data breach, so what do you do? Well, under certain circumstances, there is an obligation now to report the breach to the Information Commission's office. Certainly, if there's a breach and it's relating to sensitive personal data, or in the special categories of personal data, so where there's high-level processing of criminal records, health records, that sort of sensitive information, you must inform the Information Commissioner's office. Any other high-risk breaches, you must inform the Information Commissioner's Office. You must think about all breaches and think, does it fall into the right category where I must inform the Information Commissioner? And there may be grey areas, but you contact the Information Commissioner and discuss that, I guess. Of course, that's not the end of the matter. Whilst you may require to inform the ICO, in those cases where you're dealing with sensitive personal information, you may also have to inform the individual concerned as well.
Yes, of course.
So, now, breaches. So, a number of issues about breach. So, you've informed about the breach. And what you've got to remember is you could get fined for not reporting when you should. So, there's a fine there. It's a lower level of fine, to be quite honest. So then you might get a fine for the breach if you've not had the measures in place that might have mitigated against that breach. So, quite a lot to think about on breaches as well. I mean, I think it lends itself. Businesses should look at how they record breaches, notify them, and just look at the data to see if it would be in the category of reportable data breaches or not.
I'm just thinking there that reporting a breach, if it's a child involved, then you've got to think of the language and the process to say to someone under 13.
Yeah.
How do you inform the guardian, inform the child?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then on top of that, you were saying before, business continuity plans need to be, I suppose, properly devised and tested, and then you've got the cyber essentials, and and then the sort of level above that where you've got the sort of penetration testing. So again, those are all things that need to be put in place if you're going to sort of demonstrate you're doing the right thing about keeping data secure and reporting breaches.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.